Hey everyone, welcome to Yoga Moments. I'm Janice, and today we have a yoga flow for the office worker. So if you sit at a desk for your job, no worries, we got you covered. Grab a chair. It's going to be something that you can do at the office, and let's get started. Okay, so maybe you are doing this just for a quick break or you're on lunch. Either way, slide your sit bones to the front edge of your chair so you can kind of still be supported, rock a little bit, stay upright, not feel like you're going to fall off. If your chair moves, then brace it against something. So maybe you can lock the wheels, or maybe you can just put it against the edge of your desk or a filing cabinet. Either way, I want you to be safe. No rolling down the hall or, rolling back and hurting yourself. So find a nice stable seat. And when you get there, kick your shoes off if that's an available option. We spend a lot of time in shoes, and our feet really much prefer to have free movement here. So we'll bring our feet hip width apart, press into all four corners of your feet, lift up the toes, lift up the arches, and you'll feel your knees kind of externally go out to the sides. So a little bit of lateral movement there. And then just press into your sit bones. Sit up nice and tall, and by that I mean work your inside. So pelvic floor engages, it lifts up, navel draws in and up, heart lifts, and your shoulders are going to come down onto your back. So take a moment to explore that. Pelvic floor lifts up, your feel it engage, navel draws in and up, your heart will lift, and your shoulders are going to come down your back, and just imagine squeezing your shoulder blades together. So like you're holding a little pencil. Just see how that feels. And then notice if you are holding for this, if you're like rigidly trying to get that nice long spine and you're holding your breath or you're feeling tense, soften. So make sure that you can breathe comfortably. Even if your pose isn't perfect, no worries. You have already shown up. You're already doing amazing. So just find that, and you might rock your feet out a little bit, lift up your heels. Just find a little organic movement in your feet. We're generally speaking going to go top to bottom, but a little attention for our toes because they do carry us throughout the day. Alrighty, so find this nice alignment and bring your awareness just to the tip of your nose. So we're going to draw circles with our nose. Now, there's no right or wrong. You can do big circles. You can do small circles. Either way, have a little fun with it. But at least when we draw circles with our nose, we're not compressing the back of our neck too much. We're not squishing. And see if you can inhale when you come up and around. Draw a rainbow. Exhale. Down and through. Draw a smiley face. If your neck is making some nice noises like snaps, crackles, pops, you got it. You are not alone, I promise. Just notice how it feels in your neck. And then when you're ready, take it the other way. So rainbows up and over. Smiles when you're coming down and through. Inhale with your rainbow. Exhale with your smile. You got this. See if you're still pressing into your seat. So a lot of these exercises might be something you've seen before, but the reason we're doing it as yoga is because we're bringing a lot of mindfulness to the whole body. So even though we're doing circles with our neck and with our nose, we're also being mindful of our core and our posture, engaging the whole body here. When you're ready, come back to center. Join me here. Inhale, we'll lift the shoulders. Exhale, round them on back. Heart's really going to lift. Shoulder blades are going to come together. Explore this. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring your shoulder blades together. If you spend time on your phone or at the desk typing, no worries. It probably just feels a little bit tight in your shoulders. So when you open up your shoulders, you're probably going to feel a pull pretty quick, and that is okay. Again, you've shown up. You're already doing this. Inhale to come up. Exhale, bring those shoulder blades together. This time we're going to go the other way. Inhale up. Really hug it in. So exploring our range of motion here. Finding some movement. And then one more time, we're going to go backwards just to open ourselves up again. So really bring our shoulder blades together, lift our heart, draw our navel in. So if you're forgetting that, no worries. Imagine putting on some skinny jeans or some skinny pants and that little, you know, when you draw it in to zip it up. You've all been there. You know what I mean. Alrighty. So from here, a little exercise for our eyes. Pick a focal point. In yoga, we call it a drishti. Just somewhere where you can focus. And I'm going to stare at the light switches behind the camera because I don't want to stare directly at the camera and make it weird for you guys. So pick something, this is probably 8 or 10 feet away from me. I'm just going to focus on the light switch or whatever you have picked. And I'm going to look to the right, but I'm going to keep my eyes, I'm going to turn my head to the right, I should say. I'm going to keep my eyes on the light switch. I'll bring my head back to center, turn my head to the left. So all the while your eyes stay focused, and you're just going to turn until, you know, it starts to get dizzy, or not dizzy, sorry, double, till you start to see double. Forgetting my words there. So turn left and right, just keep your focus. So no straining here, you're not going to, you know, crank your head all the way around. Keep your focus on your focal point. And then even it out, so ending up on the opposite side you started at, and coming back to center. And then we're going to look up, keep your eyes on that focal point, and then we'll look down. So this one, you might have a little more range of motion. See if you can keep your eyes focused. A little bit of eye exercise for you. And a little bit of the opposite of what we normally do. Normally we swing our eyes to look where we want to see. This time we're keeping our eyes where we want to see and we're moving our head. So just exploring that movement. See if you can find some nice easy movement. Looking up and down. Continue to breathe here, so no holding your breath. And we'll finish up coming down. And then I'll meet you back at neutral. We're going to take these two hands, reach them up behind our ears, nice and high. Drop your shoulders away from your ears, so no, you know, pinching your ears. But we're going to drop our shoulders onto our back. Thumbs are going to point back, pinkies are going to point forward. You got this. We're going to exhale, bring the left hand down to the chair beside us. And then on your next inhale, reach up and over with your right hand. So shoulders drop away from the ears. You can tag a little bit of weight in your left elbow. Feel a nice stretch in the right side body. And I really encourage you here, take a couple of nice full breaths. So lengthen your inhale. Lengthen your exhale, and you'll feel that breath do the stretching for you. So I'm not about showing up and working extra hard. I'm all about finding that ease, or that sukha, as we call it in yoga. Letting our breath do our work for us. Finding a little bit of lift up through the left side body. So even though we're compressing with the left, we're not collapsing. See if you can play. Finding a little integrity in the left side, hugging back towards the right, reaching with the right arm up and over. We'll inhale to come all the way up. Bring your right hand down. You can feel the blood rush in the opposite direction here. Lift the left hand up, reach it over top. So again, shoulders are going to come away from the ears. A little bit of weight in the right elbow, and that right side is going to stay holding this integrity. It's going to push back a little bit to the left. We're going to feel compression, but we're not going to collapse. So playing with our limits here, just finding that appropriate edge, and then finding our breath. Just noticing where we feel our breath. You can stay wiggling your toes if you want. Full body experience. Always keep lifting up from the arches of your feet just a little bit. Still want to plant those feet, but lift up from the arch. Little integrity in our legs, reaching our arm up and over as well. You got to get your bang for your buck. It's a free YouTube video. We'll inhale, come all the way up, bring our left hand down. And then we're going to sweep our arms up in front of us. Palms are going to point down, very Thriller-esque, if you're a Michael Jackson fan. And I'm going to plug my right shoulder in, or my right humerus. So my right upper arm bone plugs into my shoulder so that my shoulder blade stays on my back. Take my left hand, thumb goes to the palm of my right hand, fingers come behind, and I'm going to reach forward with my right hand. So my left hand is just bracing, it's not pulling, and I'm really reaching forward with my right. And I encourage you, play a little bit here. Wiggle your right fingers. Just notice which muscles. You can probably see them in your arm moving. If you can't, no worries, but play with it. Have a little fun. Reach those right forearm bones, your radius and your ulna. That's what I'm trying to say. Reach the radius and ulna forward in your right arm. You've got 2 forearm bones. And then we'll inhale, switch to the other side. So the left humerus, your left upper arm bone, plugs into your shoulder. Your shoulder blade should be on the back on the left-hand side. And then right thumb comes to your left palm, and your right fingers come behind your left hand. So really plugging that shoulder in, reaching forward through your left radius and ulna now. So your left forearm, reaching forward, engaging those muscles. And you might wiggle your fingers on the left hand. If you notice that there's a difference between your left and right hand, no worries, right? We're all one side dominant, so right side or left side. A few of us are ambidextrous, but I am not, so really reach through that left wrist. And then we'll release. I'm going to skip over the core. We're going to come back to that towards the end. And I'm just going to stand up here. So we're going to play with our lower back. A lot of people who sit and tend to find a little bit of strain in their lower back. So I'm going to press into all 4 corners of my feet, and I'm going to lift up from the arch. So by all 4 corners, I mean the ball joints of your big and little toe, and then lift up from the arch. And again, you'll probably notice your knees move a little bit laterally, a little external. And then I'm going to shine my hip creases forward, so a little bit of stretch in the front of my hips. So if you find your hip bones, just shine a little sunlight forward with them, and you'll probably feel a nice stretch up across the front of your hips. See, play with that for a second if you need. And then if you take a minute to peek at the video, you'll see my back curves, and generally my tailbone wants to come out. I'm going to reach my tailbone down, so I'm going to actually shine my hips a little more forward with this motion and lengthen the back of, or my lower back. So lengthen the back of my lower thoracic and sacral spine. I'm going to reach it down. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to try and stay nice and lifted through the front body here. So navel's still drawing in and up, my pelvic floor is engaged. And if you're like, dude, this is weird, and the other, neighbors are looking at me, just invite them over. Tell them you're stretching out your lower back and it feels good. Hopefully it does. If you feel strain or pain, come back a little bit. So we're working within our healthy range of motion. We're reaching down with our tailbone. I bring one hand to my tummy, one hand to my back to just remind me. Just reaching that tailbone down gently. Not a lot of force. I'm not cranking in underneath my pelvis. I'm just reaching down with the back body lifting up through the front. So if you imagine your pelvis is full of water, it's like dumping it backwards. You can bring your hands to your hips and do the same thing. Finding a little bit of length in that low back. And I know it's not a lot, but if you do this a couple times, even a couple times a week, it's going to feel really, really good. And then we're going to come right back to our seat. Hopefully you notice a difference there. And this is where we're going to work our core just a little bit. So I'm going to spin to the side because my chair allows that. If you have arms on your chair, if you're in a full office chair, slide to the front. Again, make sure you're not going to roll. And I'm going to walk my feet out here. So I'm going to lean back as much as I can keep this lower back hugging in. I don't want to round through. So hug your lower back towards your tummy. Hug your tummy towards your lower back. Make that nice sandwich between your front and back body. And then I'm going to lean back, and already my core is engaged. So it's already realizing that there's weight, my legs are here, and it's engaging to keep them there. I'm going to bring my hands behind me for a little support if I wish. Try it out for yourself and see. We're going to inhale, keep our heart lifted, and then exhale, lift up our knees. So toes are going to come off. You can let go if you wish. Feel this engagement. And then exhale, lower down. You can keep your arms out for a little counterbalance. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, release. So it's up to you. Arms can be in front of you, arms can be behind you. If you want a little support, if you're not used to much core work, don't worry. This is just a nice little introduction. You can always play with lifting one foot and extending it. And then you can lift the other foot and extend it. So a couple of options. Wherever you are, enjoy it. It should feel good. So don't stress. And if you feel strained, come back to here. And just do one leg at a time. So you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to do a ton of crunches. You can work your core. Whew. Just sitting in your office chair. How fun. If that doesn't make you want to go to work, I don't know what does. So follow your breath. Inhale to release. Exhale, draw it in. If you find that you're shaking, that is your body transforming. If you find that it's strain or pain, just come back a little bit. You can always find a little support. Extend your legs. Come in. Make sure your lower back is fully engaged, hugging forward. We'll do two more wherever you are. And then we'll inhale, come all the way up. All right, so we're gonna stay at the front of our seat. Find this nice alignment again. If you feel like your lower abs have worked out, awesome. If you feel like you just woke them up and you don't know what's going on, but don't worry. So long as you're breathing and it feels good, feels engaged, you're doing great. So learning to listen to our body here, even though we work at the office, even though we spend time sitting, we can still listen to what's going on in our body. And from this nice posture, check in with yourself. So feet hip-width apart, press into the ground, lift up from the arches a little, feel those inner thighs engaged. Then you're gonna lift up through the pelvic floor, draw your navel in and up, heart lifts, shoulders come down. All right, we're gonna take our left hand, take it to the outside of our right thigh. Right hand's gonna swim behind us, coming into a spinal twist. See if you can keep your hips even, so no splaying one knee in front of the other. But on your inhale, lift up nice and high through the crown of your head. On your exhale, let yourself twist. Find your breath here. Relax your shoulders. And again, if there's anywhere that feels tight, soften, come back just a little. That's your body telling you, not yet, we'll get there. And then find your nice, even breath. On your inhale, we'll come back to center. Take the right hand to the outside of the left thigh. And again, my right knee instantly wanted to come forward, so I'm gonna draw my right hip crease back. I'm gonna take my left hand, reach it all the way behind me. So inhale, come up nice and tall through the crown of the head. Exhale, deepen into your twist. Find your breath here. See if you can find a little softness. Take two more breaths. On your inhale, you'll come up nice and tall, and then just slide back a little bit in your seat. We're going to take these two beautiful hands and we're going to reach up to where our mandible meets our maxilla. So right where your jaw kind of meets in the corner, your TMJ joint, there's 4 muscles that hold our lower jaw to the rest of our skull, and we're just going to massage it. So take your hands, you can You can use your little fists if you want. I say little because mine are. Or you can take your fingertips and just find a nice little massage. So we often find that we hold a lot of stress in our face. So you can open your jaw, just remember, if you feel silly, I'm doing this on YouTube. So drop your lower jaw, open it up, and then find a little bit new space you can massage. You might bring it up more or back towards your ears, but trust yourself. Find what feels good. And then with your jaw open, just bring it a little left, a little right. All right. I'm sure that looked excessively goofy. So we're just going to take a couple seconds here, laugh at ourselves, and enjoy it, because who cares? It's all about feeling good and finding some softness and ease within ourselves, and you deserve that. So life has already got enough stuff going on. You should feel good no matter what's going on. We're going to find this posture one more time. Check in with yourself. Press into all four corners of your feet. Lift up from the arches. See if you can do your own check in through your torso. I know you guys already know this. It's going to be beautiful, and it feels good when you can do it yourself, right? Close your eyes and just find your breath. So this is our seated version of Shavasana, and Shavasana is at the end of pretty much every yoga class. It's just a moment to come in, soften the mind and the body. So let go of your thoughts, find your breath, and just be present. I'm going to bring my hands up to my heart. Thank you for inviting me into your workspace and into your life. It's been a pleasure as always, and I hope that you are feeling really good. And not only that, I hope you've learned one or two things that you can do while you're driving, or even during the meeting, stretching your feet, sitting up nice and tall, something like that you can take with you, because yoga is more than just on the mat. It's how we carry ourselves throughout the day and throughout our lives. So bring my hands to my heart, from my heart to yours. Namaste.